Hello, Vibrant Living Alchemists. Here I am, Catherine Carlson, at an unusual time for me to be on a Facebook Live, and yet here I am. Usually I pop up in the morning, but today it was a date with Safeway and then on to other things. At any rate, it is 3:27 this fine spring afternoon, and I'm wondering how you are doing. I know at this time of the afternoon, one of the things that gives me pick up is breathe essential oil. If you've got some essential oil, and peppermint will work, eucalyptus will work, and you need a little pick-me-up in the afternoon that's not caffeine and not sugar and it's not addictive, you put a little drop in your hand, rub your hands together, and then breathe in. It lifts the spirits. Hello, Maggie. It lifts the spirits. It's the essential oils are good for our bodies. Our bodies love them, and does all kinds of amazing things for our body. And mostly it just feels good this afternoon. So breathe is a blend by doTERRA. You could also use peppermint, eucalyptus, lavender, and peppermint are kind of interesting together. Wild orange and peppermint are good together. All right, so ready to roll. How you doing today? Yesterday in my feasting and fasting, yesterday was about fasting on resistance, and today is feasting on acceptance. And as I look at those two in my life, I know that acceptance in the past has felt more like resignation, and that's not the kind of acceptance that I'm talking about. So I'd like to share with you what this says about acceptance. And then as you feel into this, just feel into your body and see where might some resistance be hanging out. I mean, resistance can be resistance to anything and everything. And the opportunity is to invite us to shift to acceptance. What is radical acceptance? Check this out. Acceptance opens the doors to infinite good. How about that? I'll sign up for that. Acceptance opens the doors to my infinite good. When I accept that everything is happening in divine order, I begin to look for solutions and possibilities. So if I feel victimized by the current state of affairs, I'm going to be in the fear. My amygdala is going to shut my prefrontal cortex down, and I'm not going to see opportunities and possibilities. If, however, I see that everything is I accept that everything is happening in divine order, I begin to look for solutions and possibilities. In moments of acceptance, I can access the infinite potential of life itself and the divine. One more time. In moments of acceptance, I can access the infinite potential of life itself and the divine. So that moment, remember, when we breathe, let's breathe together, because I think that down at the bottom of the stillness, see if this is true for you. When we breathe in and release the breath and go all the way to stillness, it feels like that place is a completely empty possibility, full of acceptance, empty of attachment. Let's check that out. So breathing in and releasing. And as if I have my feet on the bone, yes, there's such clarity there. You're right, Maggie. There's clarity. There is the connection with access to the infinite potential of life itself and the divine. Those limitless possibilities are no longer blocked by my resistance. Resistance, also known as fear, also known as anxiety, also known as anger, anything that contracts us, and how do you know? Your emotional GPS system. If you feel good and open and expansive, you're not in resistance, you're in allowance. If you're feeling tight and fearful, then we're in resistance. Neither is bad nor good, but how do we want to feel? Do we want to feel better? Feeling better means being in acceptance. In our society, acceptance sometimes connotes complacency, giving up, passivity, and failure. Now, this is interesting because we all have our own ways of addressing the situation on this planet. There are those that are fighting the virus. Let's fight the virus. Let's find a cure and fight it to the death. Or like the fighting cancer, like the war against cancer, the war against drugs, the war against this, the war against that. This is a different approach. So, if we take the approach of radical acceptance, society may see us as complacent, may see us as giving up and passive, but that's not the kind of acceptance we are engaged in, my fellow vibrant living alchemists. Because when we lovingly, in truth, there's nothing passive about acceptance. When we lovingly acknowledge the reality of any situation, when we lovingly acknowledge the reality of any situation, when we agree to risk an unknown experience, we are saying yes to the divine and co-creating something new with God. This is a time of radical acceptance and radical co-creating a new way of being on this planet. And each one of us is following our paths. So fighting and who are really in it for the best possible reasons. Stay with it. People, we just have to find our own way. If we are in the path of radical acceptance, let's remember that this is a powerful practice and maybe growing, not exactly popular, not exactly recognized as the way to make change happen. And yet we know we get to be convinced by our own internal barometer and our own internal truth of what has the best chance for co-creating a new normal after all this is open. And it starts in here. So we're recreating a new normal in our inner environment, and that new normal on the inner environment can ripple out into the world. Everything starts within. Happiness happiness is an inside job. Joy, peace, love, all of them are inside jobs. They start from within and they ripple out. Active acceptance requires incredible strength and faith. Active acceptance requires incredible strength and faith. This loving acceptance of life's experience is the crucial ingredient needed for success. Let me read that one more time. This loving acceptance of life's experiences, even this, is the crucial ingredient needed for success. So for those of you who are in business for yourself or in any kind of business, moving forward, there is going to be different requirements for success. And one of them, I believe, that is going to be coming around is really radically accepting what is, radically accepting the co-creative powers that we have, and seeing what comes. I mean, I don't really know, but developing right now if you'll notice when you're online with people, some people you really resonate with and some people you don't. Some people are able to create more of a connection online, and we need that so badly. So we're whether it's online or in person, we've known for a long time that business is about relationship, and we've paid some homage to it. I think that's going to become really a lot more important. Developing a sense of intimacy, closeness, acceptance, unconditional acceptance of who we are and who others are. I think that's going to be really critical for success on this planet. If you think so too, give me a thumbs up. So today, I lift up my conscious understanding of God at work in every situation, and I bring loving acceptance to every aspect of my life. I acknowledge that in every moment there is the activity and presence of divine love, and I choose to bring that love forward with my thoughts, words, and actions. I know that God is present in my life and in every situation. Oh my gosh. And as I look at the day, yesterday and today, the author of Yesterday and Today was Reverend Ken Daigle, and I just got to spend time with him last night. Oh, that is cool. Okay, I'll have to reach out to him and say thank you, Reverend Ken, for gracing my Facebook Live with those thoughts and words. You know, it's amazing. So while I'm finishing up here, and then we'll tap. And if you can just tap on your collarbone as you listen to this whole bit about when we say yes to the divine and co-create something new with God, there's this energy that comes in. So like 5 minutes ago, I was sitting in my chair and I was finishing up playing a game on my computer, and I was so tired, and it's like, I gotta do my Facebook Live. And then as soon as I got the breathe, and then as soon as I connected with you and connected with spirit, the energy was there. So that was living proof for myself that there may have been, when there is resistance, I feel tired. When there is resistance, I feel contracted. And when I can radically accept that somehow, mysteriously, I will be guided every moment of the way, all of a sudden the energy of the angels comes into my body, and here we are tapping on the lane. Pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable. All right, so let's tap. Let's do a round of tapping, and we will tap on, feel into if you have any resistance. It can be to anything. Right now, like I have resistance to, I don't know what I have resistance to. I have resistance to looking at my finances. You know, I feel like I'm doing pretty good washing my hands and taking care of myself, and my body feels pretty good. I don't know about my finances. So there's some resistance to there's resistance to accepting that everything in my financial world is in divine order. There you go. That's a way to shift it, right? So everything is in divine order. That's the antidote. So right now, let's think of what you see, feel what you might be resistant to. And if you want to name it as fear or anger or anything else, you certainly can, because you are responding in your own space. So, and again, I'm touching my face. That's because I've sanitized, I've washed my hands. If you feel comfortable touching your face, please do. I know they say this every day. I never know who's going to be on. You can tap on the back of your head if you want to tap there. You can tap on your collarbone if you want to tap there. And just take responsibility for your own well-being. And because my hands are clean, I am going to touch my face. So here we go. On the karate chop, even though I feel some resistance in my body, can this really be in divine order? How come it doesn't feel good if it's in divine order? And I want to choose to love, honor, and accept all of me, even the resistant part. Okay, we're going to do that. Just shake that out. Shake that resistance out. Just imagine all that resistance melting. Maybe it's going through the soles down into the ground. Maybe it's just like flying off like droplets of water off the fingertips. Just letting it go on the karate chop. Even though there's still some resistance in this body. And I feel it. I'm not sure it... Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's in divine order. And I get caught in the fear and the sorrow, resistance to what is. And I choose to love, honor, and accept all of me anyway. And that means my resistant part too. And shaking that out. And breathing. Yawning is good. It means we're releasing energy. And one more time on the karate chop. Even though there's some resistance here. And it doesn't feel good. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept even the part that's resistant. Okay, and shaking that out. Ooh. All right, now we're going to do one round in the body to tap out, tap down, or release a resistance, and then we'll do a round on bringing in acceptance and the power of that. Beginning of the eyebrow. Sometimes I'm resistant to what is on the outside of the eyes. Sometimes it's hard to see things as in divine order under the eyes. Oh, good, energy moving under the eyes. It just doesn't seem like this could be in divine order sometimes. Under the nose and on the chin. So many people suffering on the collarbone, losing their jobs. On the wrist, sick and dying. On the top of the head, running out of money. And on the beginning of the eyebrows. It's hard to accept what is. On the outside of the eyebrows. Kids having to go to school on their iPads. Under the eyes. Teachers having to teach on their computers. Under the nose and on the chin. Crazy, crazy times. On the collarbone. How can this possibly be in divine order? On the wrists. What if I simply choose to believe like Carolyn Mace says, only God can screw things up this bad. Only God can screw things up this bad. What if the divine on the outside of the eyebrows is inviting us to super deep magic under the eyes? And what if somehow we participated in co-creating this? Under the nose and on the chin. What if we somehow said, unconsciously, hey divine, we're caught in all this activity and consumption, and we just can't stop ourselves. On the wrist. Would you help us put a pause button on? And on the top of the head. And I bet old Mother Earth was in on that one. And the beginning of the eyebrow, because she is certainly seeing this in divine order. On the outside of the eyebrows, that's evidence that I can use. Under the eyes, to let myself know. Under the nose and on the chin, I can accept this as divine order. And on the collarbone, and I can say yes to love, yes to the universe, and yes to divine. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, love seeing all those. Ooh, thank you. All of those connections there, all those bubbles coming up. Yes, wow, that, whew, I'm feeling a lot of energy moving. So as we go through this, let's here, so putting your left wrist into your right hand. Again, I'm only holding this up so you can see what I'm doing. You can hold it in a comfortable place. Wrap your finger around your wrist and just squeeze gently to the beat of your heart, imagining the beat of your heart, and just say, let it go. Let go of the resistance. Let go of my thoughts about divine order. Let go of me trying to fix anything about this. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And breathing in, and on the out breath, as we breathe out, you'll put your hands on your lap and say peace. So breathing in, out breath, peace. Beautiful. We moved a lot of energy right now. We went to a lot of places. Please be sure to get some water to flush all of that energy through your system. Doing this is the best thing you can do for your immune system, for your inner peace, and for your ability to support your family and friends in the world and to make a difference somehow, maybe even in that coronavirus. We don't know. Let's just take one more moment here and invite. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ring the bell. And as I ring this, I want you to imagine that everything that we did right now was like a, what do I want to say? Somehow waves of loving energy. I'll just call it that. Waves of loving energy. Any way you want to imagine it. Send it out to your family, first to yourself, then to your family, then to your community, and then to the whole world. And let's just say, you know what, Father, Mother, God, spirits, please take this time that we have had together and send it out. Send it out with love. You know where to send it. You know where it needs to go. You know how this is to be used. We don't have to figure that out. We're just asking you to do it through our angels, our guides, to send the highest and best for us and for everyone in the world with what we've just accomplished now. And letting these sounds create that as so it is. And so it is. Have an amazing evening, and I will be back tomorrow at 8:15, right around 8:15. It's going to be back on the early. Thank you so much for tapping with me. If you would like to share this, please feel free to do so. If you would like to connect with me and talk more about how tapping can support you during these times, don't hesitate to reach out to me through private messaging here on Facebook, and I would be glad to connect with you. Be well, be safe, be divine, be radically accepting, and say yes to the divine. Until tomorrow, thank you.